Howdy, howdy, and welcome to another Trash Take. Today we're going to be talking about the Institute of Peace. That's right, USIP, as it's quickly known to the government, is the United States Institute of Peace. So, about a week or so ago, Elon Musk and the Doge team came in, and it was like crazy. They blocked the doors, cut the phone lines, barricaded half the building, and hit on the 5th floor and required the police to actually physically remove a bunch of individuals because they refused to allow Donald Trump to come through and take a look at their information. Which is wild because they work for the fucking government and are actively protesting against the government. But, crazy leftists have invaded every part of American government at this point. To say you don't agree with that makes you retarded. You can take a look at any department in the United States government right now, and every time Elon comes in, for some odd reason, they're freaking out. Well, that was last week. This week, Elon Musk put something interesting on Twitter. I want to show you all that now. What basically they found is the Institute of Peace was actually defying presidential order and still giving the Taliban money. Not only the Taliban, but Iraqi leadership as well. And they got caught trying to delete a terabyte worth of data, being reported by Autism Capital and then again by Mario Winofwell, which this guy's not normally, he's hit or miss. He can sometimes put just some straight up lies that he just retweets on Elon Musk. But Autism Capital, he's pretty good. But the whole point of this is basically, I'll read this to you. Elon Musk says the U.S. Institute of Peace deleted 1 terabyte of financial data linking them to funding the Taliban and Iraqi leadership, but Doge wasn't fooled. According to Elon, the agency attempted to scrub the records, but Doge engineers recovered the entire archive thanks to their shocking incompetence with tech. The data reportedly included financial transfers tied to groups in Afghanistan and Iraq. No comment yet from the agency. One of Trump's executive orders when he first started was basically to stop all funding abroad for foreign powers. And now we find that the United States Department of Peace is deleting a terabyte worth of data to the Taliban and the Iraqis? Really? Really? I'm willing to bet they were sending money that they shouldn't have been, even past the point where Trump told them to stop. And now that they got their hand caught in the cookie jar, they did everything they could to get rid of the evidence, basically. But I imagine it's a bunch of old boomers that just right-clicked on the desktop and clicked delete, not realizing it goes to the trash bucket, and then didn't empty the trash. I gotta imagine some absolute retardation. But 1 terabyte worth of data is fucking crazy. Because these guys are about to nail themselves to the cross, and I hope they get fucking punished. I hope they all go to jail for fraud. I hope they go to jail for doing this. This is something I want to see. People who are doing fraud in the United States government, wasting taxpayer funds for their own institutional wants or needs, for defying the president. I mean, your whole job at the government is to do everything you can. Your whole job at the government is basically to do everything you can to support the president. The president says do this, you start working on programs to do this. The president wants to build new infrastructure, you work on the infrastructure. The president says stop funding terrorists, you stop funding terrorists. Not lock your building down like a Rainbow Six Siege they got a hostage situation, all the buildings are barricaded, use your drones to figure out where they're hiding type of shit. And then a week later, oh yeah, here's why, guys. Look at all this shit they tried to delete. Look at this. Oh, it's still all here because they're fucking stupid. Holy shit, man. Not only that, but Elon Musk is also reporting that they found over $4.3 billion in wasted COVID funds. The Labor Department returned 1.4 in unused, and with another 2.9 more flagged as waste. Which is kind of crazy because everyone keeps saying, where's the fraud? Where's the fraud? Every time you post anything on Twitter, they say there's no fraud whatsoever. But if you actually look at what Elon's saying or posting, you can directly see that there's fraud literally fucking everywhere in our government. Anytime anyone's talking about money, it's almost for fraud. Not to mention the millions of kids that were able to get loans for businesses not to mention the millions of kids that got COVID business loans that were under the age of 11. There was some 6-month-old entrepreneurs in the United States getting COVID business loans. But for some reason, people don't understand that's fraud. Which Elon Musk has now put out that they're actually going to be charging people for this. And while Elon Musk is slashing through all the fraud, the Democrats' approval rating has fallen even lower. Last time it was 29%, now it's 21%. And with them actively doing everything they can to stop Elon Musk from finding fraud and saving taxpayer funds, are you really surprised their approval rating is circling the shitter? This is only going to get worse till these idiots realize America needs change, and all they're doing is hindering it. And Elon Musk is clearly being a force for good. No matter how much they yell, no matter how much Nancy Pelosi lies on the stage and says he's cutting Medicaid and he's cutting Medicare, it won't change. At this point, the news has lost the grasp on the narrative, and the Democrats are circling the drain faster and faster. They cannot prove in any way, shape, or form or articulate what things Elon Musk is doing to hurt Medicare or Medicaid. They are literally just saying a lie repeatedly, hoping it becomes truth. That's what they want to happen, is Elon Musk get destroyed by the American public, and it's failing miserably, and instead backfiring on them. Here's a quick video I found of Elon Musk talking about all the fraud that he's fighting so far, of just the most basic shit the government is failing to do that is costing taxpayer funds, which was completely unnecessary.
It's difficult you have to recalibrate how dumb things can be because it's the government. You know, frankly, it's like dumber than you think it could possibly be. So, you know, like for example, we found there were a whole bunch of what I call ghost payments going out, where the government contracting officer had retired or changed jobs or was dead or I don't know, they were not around anymore, and they forgot to turn off the payment stream to some company, and it's like leaving the money faucet on and you know leave the house, you know, and it's just the money faucet keeps going. And it's a pretty rare organization that will complain about receiving money. So organizations, so then you're like, is that waste or fraud? I mean, the government did send them the money, but they didn't deserve it. So then, well, okay, we should turn off the money spigot if the contract is over.
Which isn't anything crazy or radical, and every common person should be able to agree that there's no reason this should be happening. There should be checks and balances within these agencies, or at least basic financial audits to figure out, hey, do we still need this? But it doesn't happen because it's the government and they use other people's money. They don't have to turn a profit. They get paid from the taxpayers. And so by God, they'll pay out taxpayers' money to anyone for any reason whatsoever. It's a literal scam. Like this is just completely scam. Like, yes, is it fraud or waste? At this point, it's hard to tell the difference because it's happening so fucking much that the waste is seemingly being fraudulently done. Like, imagine you have a friend who starts up some business and he makes a software that adds 1 + 1 on your computer, and you're the head of the software department for your government agency. And you know what? It sounds like you need a 1 + 1 on your computer. Let me go ahead and write my friend a check for $100,000 a year. Right after I wrote that check, I changed jobs, but I kept the subscription on autopay. So now they're paying $100,000 a year till someone comes in and turns it off. Is it fraud? Did he actually do that fraudulently? Maybe, but at that point, it was fraud at one point, but from that point forward, it's then waste. It should have been caught before then. It should have been caught way long ago. And this is the issue with these agencies, is this isn't isolated. They're all doing it. Every single fucking one. There hasn't been a single agency he's gone through and hasn't talked about there being some form of fraud or waste. That's fucking absurd. It's crazy. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills about this shit. And I feel like the rest of America is actually waking up to this shit too. At least it seems like it, besides all the bots on Twitter and all the crazy leftists on the social media. That's another thing too. Leftists have now organized in discords and are openly attacking and telling people to go like tweets, go upvote posts, go contest this community note. Like, they're actively like wasting 90% of their day to push a narrative that's completely false to try to make you think that you are crazy. Which I didn't know. I didn't know till a few months ago, but it's apparently a lot more common. They've organized in discords, being discord moderators, to push false narratives to gaslight people into believing what they want, which is fucking crazy. Here's Piers Morgan actually saying something articulate, which I used to think he was a retarded leftist for the BBC, but we're so far, politics in America are so far cooked that the left is absolutely self-destroyed and everyone now looks like a moderate. But here's he talking about Elon Musk and actually giving an articulate example of what Elon Musk is doing, which I completely agree with Piers in this situation.
Elon Musk has sacrificed his business stuff for however long he's going to do this for no money. He's leading a team of people to try and reduce government overspending and waste.
And he's succeeding.
I wish he was doing that to the federal government in the UK.
He'd be in jail for hate speech in the UK at the moment he said something slightly spadicy about one of the politicians. 100% they would pull him up on some hate speech charges. The UK arrests people for literally any reason if someone thinks they're offended, or it could be considered harassment. Like saying hi to your neighbor. If your neighbor says stop and you say hi again, they'll consider that harassment and they can arrest you. If a formal complaint is made. And when they arrest you, they hold you for like 12 hours for interrogation to see if they have a case to press formal charges against you. It happened to some people that were posting about some school teacher or school position where there was literal nepotism of like some basic corruption of there was a position that opened up to where someone got hired on immediately that was a friend where there was no real position posted. It just immediately got a new hire and it was very sketchy, and they called the school out on it and the school said it was harassment. Calling corruption out equaled harassment. These people got arrested in broad daylight and they were in jail for like 12 hours while the police interrogated them to determine if they could make a case against them and then released them. Like, the UK is fucking crazy, dude. All of Europe's fucking crazy. That's why I don't trust any of these retards online that say they're European. You're living under an iron fucking rule. I do not care because I know you can't speak your mind without going to jail.
And what's his reward? All over America now, people torching Teslas, petrol bombing them, targeting people who are driving Teslas. I said on X last night, this is making me want to go and buy a Tesla, to which Elon replied, thank you, because I'm sure he's feeling a little bit vulnerable right now in terms of his business being actively targeted and they're trying to destroy it. These people used to love Elon Musk.
They used to worship the ground he walked on.
The green energy guy.
That's right. And now you have leftists that have to arm themselves to stop themselves from being killed by these crazy leftists that are being told to firebomb and attack Tesla drivers.
To Donald Trump. Now he's the enemy, and they can't crush him on policy. They want to crush him with violence.
Exactly. They want to use political violence to intimidate him into stopping. That is the key here. That's why it's terrorism.
Saving Americans money, which is what they're doing. That you then become the devil who must be targeted, destroyed.
And it begs the question of why are Democrats doing this if all he's doing is shutting down, if all he's doing is finding fraud? Because they're the ones committing the fraud. That's the answer. That's the only answer that makes sense. Democrats are freaking out because their hands are in the cookie jar and they've hired people to put their hands in the cookie jar for them to give them more money, and now they're all caught doing it. That is the only thing that makes logical sense. I cannot see another solution of why. Besides, Elon Musk is getting government contracts, so he can't do this. Well, he's getting government contracts because the only fucking space agency that can go to outer space. He saved 2 fucking astronauts that got abandoned by the Biden administration, which all the news reported they got abandoned by the Biden administration. The moment Trump said we're going to send Elon up there, they fucking scrubbed their websites and 180 flipped it to say, oh, they weren't abandoned. It was planned. Like, it's fucking crazy, the mental gymnastics these people will go through to try to convince boomers, a dying breed, that Elon Musk is the bad guy. And now the boomers are getting arrested for doing Tesla vandalism. Like, every time I see a video camera, they're posting them all over Twitter, of people walking up to a Tesla and drawing a swastika, it's always like an 80-year-old retard or it's like a 20-year-old retard. There's no in between. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, that's all I got time for today, though. Yeah, I want to make a video just about Elon Musk, and I think he's doing good for America. And I know a lot of people are saying he isn't. But if you're European and you're saying he isn't, I don't care. And if you're a leftist and saying he isn't, give me a reason why. That's all I want. Why do you not like Elon Musk? And if you say the Roman salute shit, I do not care. He's a very awkward guy. It was a bad hand gesture. He's admitted it's a bad hand gesture. Now he's actively suing people calling him a Nazi for it. He's not a fucking Nazi, my guys. He is you could say it's a bad thing, and yes, maybe him doing the whole hand on the chest, throwing it up is a bad fucking thing. No one's disagreeing with that. He just basically said he's not going to do it anymore because the news is freaking out, but people calling him a Nazi for it and drawing swastikas on his car? You guys are fucking, people are fucking crazy. That's literally crazy. You know what else Hitler did? He breathed air. He drank water. He ate meals. Oh shit, there's a lot of Nazis on Earth. What the fuck? Like, that's how stupid this is. Because of one bad hand gesture of him throwing his heart to the crowd, the leftists had a meltdown and they can't pin him for anything else. So now they're just going with the whole Nazi shtick and they're telling everyone else he's a Nazi. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you like the video, feel free to like it, subscribe to my channel, comment. Yeah, do what you gotta do what you want to do. I'm just me basically at this point looking at Twitter clips and laughing. I'm laughing. There's so much corruption in our government. Every day it gets worse and worse. The fact that these people actually like barricaded themselves in an office building and had to have the police raid them and they cut the phone lines and it's fucking wild, man. These are actual adult children that work for the Democrats and are being exposed in live time, and the news is just kind of like dead silent. You literally got Fox News reporting on it. All the other major news networks are kind of ignoring it. I wonder why. It's like they're politically biased or something. Not that Fox isn't biased. Fox is willing to put on something that is semi-irrelevant. They also report on the Joe Biden being too mentally incompetent to stand trial from the Judiciary Committee that posted their 100-page document on Twitter about Joe Biden's mental incompetence and all the direct fraud they were able to prove from bank accounts from Hunter Biden to his entire family. Yeah. Fox was the only news website that I could find report on that. Either way, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, later.